Okay, so I'm starting out with an 8.5 inch by 11 inch page background, just plain white, and I have two photos here. One is a 3 by 3 and one is a 2 by 3. And I want them to be kind of stacked up just like that. So I wanted to use this collection, the Stay Colorful collection by Dear Lizzie, because I saw the swan and I knew that this swan meant that this collection was meant to be for these photos. Now I've also grabbed this Memories die cut word, and it's sparkly and it's pretty. I'm going to try to make that work. I'm not really sure if I can. So these are the things that I'm kind of piling together. This is how I start working. I just start kind of piling and grouping things together. And I want to cut a piece of pattern paper to go behind this little grouping. So I'm pulling out my trimmer and a piece of this multicolored polka dot here. So I'm putting that back there, but what I noticed right away is that I can't see the swan. As soon as that pattern is behind there, the swan kind of disappears. So since I have a lot of kind of sky blue colors in my photos, I'm going to pull out this sky blue, kind of a turquoisey grid here to kind of put behind there. And immediately you can see the swan again. And that's definitely what I want, since that is like the first embellishment. And it helps it to, pop those photos off of the page. So I'm grabbing the die cut set just to see if there's anything else that I want to add in here. This ticket is kind of perfect because we actually got a similar ticket to ride these little swan boats. This layout doesn't really have anything to do with food, so I'm going to keep that little ticket out. And this little washi tape book is really fantastic. It has so many different borders and banners in washi tape. I find it really useful. So I'm just seeing what patterns are in here. So I'm grabbing these layered stickers here, and they're dimensional, but this little banner, this little flag set is really calling to me. I feel like it kind of belongs on this page. And this little sticker is actually going to inspire the rest of my page design. I really love it when that happens, when you find an embellishment or some other product that really speaks to you enough to design your layout. So I'm feeling like these bright white colors behind my photos might need to be grounded with some saturated color. So I'm just cutting a piece of this teal pattern paper to back the patterns that I already have going for me. So we'll see how this works out. Okay, remember when I said that little flag set was really inspiring me? Well, I grabbed the washi tape book again and the little ticket from the die cut pack that I grabbed before, and I just started to pull all of these little banners to the left side of my page. And I'm going to make an entire border along the left side of these fun little banners from different elements throughout the collection. So right now I'm pulling from the cardstock sticker set, And I'm trying to make sure that I don't put two of the same color next to each other, because I have enough product here to be able to make sure that I don't do that. And because there's enough room on the right side of this little nice sticker, I can cut my own banner. It's really easy to do if you just cut a little notch from the center and then a line from the outside edges to the center notch. Then you can create your own banner. This is the 6" by 6" paper stack, and it's a good idea to grab these smaller patterns when you're working with smaller embellishments like these little banners. This sheet of pattern paper also has a few borders that have smaller designs in them. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those out, being careful to not ruin the other journaling cards on the page. I love this sprinkles one. I think that's so fun. And I love that it brings all of the colors into the pattern. And remember when you're doing this that it's better to make these longer and be able to trim them than it is to make them short and have to cut another one. I find that alternating sizes looks the best. You definitely don't want two that are the same size next to each other like I just did there. And that's exactly why I moved that teal banner down. That rainbow one sure is fun. I love those colors. They're just so pretty. So now that I have all of this color along the left side, I'm feeling like that teal pattern is way too heavy on the right side. So that's why I pulled it out from behind my photos. So don't forget about the manufacturer's strip when you're making little banners too, because those can be super useful. Like this one here says hooray over and over again. So that's a great one to use. Just looking in the die cut pack to see if there's any banners in there, but they're all quite large. Also going back to the 6" by 6" paper stack. I'm actually feeling like the polka dot is too much now too, and I'm really preferring that grid, that simple grid just behind my photos. This floral design is really nice, and I already have a bit of this cut out. So I'm going to go ahead and make a banner from this, just the paper. I didn't want all of that green on the edge, so that's why I trimmed it a little bit. I have a few more spaces to fill in. It would be good to actually have this orange somewhere. That's not one of the colors that I have right now. So I'm adding that in, and it's quite nice that those are already cut for me. This navy blue is a good one too. And in these washi books, you can just cut them in place, because when you peel the washi back, it tends to curl up, which makes it hard to cut. So it's a good idea to cut them kind of in place before you pull them out of the book. have just a little bit of space here. I'm really trying to figure out what to put in there to fill that void. Since I've already cut this polka dot paper, I think that I'm going to go ahead and use that there. Instead of doing that by hand, I just measured that to make sure that I had the correct width for that space I needed to fill. Okay, there we go. So the left side is complete. Before I get these all properly adhered down, I will make sure that the banners are straight, because at the moment they are not. So the memories word is feeling a bit long to me. I don't want it overlapping my banners on the left. I want it to be, on the right side with my photo grouping, but it's just not wanting to fit. And I really don't want it below my photos. I want that space to be where my journaling will be. So I'm going through this pack to see if there are any other words that would work. And I think memories is out. I really want something to ground my title though, even though I have no idea what my title is going to be just yet. I found this pink banner in the Chamel Box of Crayons collection, and I'll definitely have that linked up here in the video notes. But I'm going to add these little letter stickers here. They fit really perfectly. And then I can pair this little banner with, thickers or some kind of ready-made word, whatever works. So right now I've spelled out the word Swan. And I'm thinking that I want my title now to be Swan Lake. So I'm using these chunky, glittery thickers from the Stay Colorful collection to spell out lake. But I really do not like how far down the word lake is there. Nor do I like the angle that it was at. I'm kind of struggling here to figure out how to fit my title in. I know exactly how I want it to look, I just can't get there. So if you notice at the top, I found the little swan. I think it's like a 2" by 2" piece of pattern paper. That's from the 6" by 6" paper stack, and I've topped my 2 by 3" photo with that. So now that I have that space filled, my swan die cut can go elsewhere. Just so that I don't mess up my photos, I'm going to put some baby powder on the back of this sticker, since I'm trying to, get that in place. So I could put my title, part of it above the photo and part of it below, but then I don't really feel like your eye would make that connection between the two. So that's not something I typically like to do, to break up my title. And even though the word lake would fit really well over there, having part of my title on the right and part of it on the left just does not work. Okay, so I've had a bit of an epiphany. I'm switching out the words so that lake is on the banner and the word swan is with the thickers. So you can see me switching that out, and it's not perfect at the moment just because I haven't gotten everything adhered down properly. So by doing this, then that banner also creates a nice shelf for the word above. So that works out perfectly. Plus it means that I can fit it better in that bottom corner of my photo mat, which is exactly what I wanted to do. I just need to find a place for my little swan here. I'm not loving him down there because I feel like he's kind of lost down there. Okay, so I need something up here in this top corner. So I'm going to grab one of those sparkly paper clips, and I like how that adds a bit more sparkle up there to the top corner since I already have a lot going on my title. And I'm actually going to move the flag here to go down by my title because I feel like that will look really cute kind of sticking out of that banner. So I'm just going to have to play with the placement of my photos and such to make sure that I'm not covering up anything important in my photos. No, that feels pretty good to me. Okay, so I've added my journaling using my printer, and what I'm going to do now is just get everything straightened up and adhered correctly onto the page. You can see there that when I took my paper off to go print my journaling, I just laid everything out to the left side of on my desk so that I would know where everything went at the end. Okay, so the left side of my layout is complete, and I used my sewing machine to sew through that nice banner border there a couple of times. I have everything adhered to this photo mat here, and I'm just adding dimensional adhesive to the entire piece of pattern paper back. Making sure that everything is adhered down, or else I will definitely forget. This was actually when we went to visit my friend Alexa, who's an awesome person. You can find her and her scrapbooking on Instagram at Curly Wiggles is her username. But she's a scrapbooker, and we like to meet up whenever we're in the UK, and we got to meet her in her town this time in Portsmouth, and they had a really lovely little lake that my daughter really, really wanted to go in these swan boats, so we couldn't say no. So for the title, I'm just going to bump that up so that it's raised a little bit underneath the word Swan. And I also want to make sure it's raised up so that I can tuck that flag underneath of it. There we go. Swan Lake. Perfect title for this layout. I'm just seeing one last time if I can fit this memories word in, but that's just too much. Sometimes it's better to just say no, no more. So I did add this Do All the Things Vicky Booten sticker, and I love that it had that watercolor look to it. It fit perfectly on the page. How fun is this banner border on the left side? I really love how that it ties in my photos and the photo mat to the rest of the page. I just love the dimension it adds, and I love the stitching on the side too. And the whole reason why I use this collection are these cute little swans that you can find in the Stay Colorful collection from American Crafts and Dear Lizzie. So this layout was fun to put together. I struggled a little bit with that title, but you know, it happens. I got there in the end. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to check out all of the products that I used on this layout in my video notes. Thanks so much, and happy creating!